When you hear Splatterhouse, you probably think of the arcade original or its popular TurboGrafx 16 port, where you control the Jason Voorhees-looking Rick through a horrifying mansion in a side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure. Then you probably think of the two numbered sequels that came to the Sega Genesis, where the action picked up pretty much where it left off. Fewer folks think about the Famicom spin-off prequel in today's video. Released exclusively for the Famicom, Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti came out after the original arcade game and prior to Splatterhouse 2, making it the first version of Splatterhouse to be released for a home console. Unlike the mainline series, Wanpaku Graffiti's characters are in chibi-style animation, and the game is more parody than outright spooky. It's Splatterhouse, but for kids. The chibi animation allows Rick to be more nimble here, and so there's a fair amount of platforming to be done, unlike the mainline series, where Rick slogs down corridors and bashes brains in, for the most part. If you're wondering about the title, the best I can discern is that Wanpaku means naughty, so we're dealing with naughty graffiti, and graffiti refers to the super deformed, or SD, or chibi graphical style, I think, so Splatterhouse with naughty little characters is the gist. Again, I think. Alright, well, let's see what's up with Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti on the Famicom. You kick things off in a graveyard and march your way toward the right of the screen, bashing any enemy who steps in your way with your hatchet. This is how every video game should start. You'll immediately notice how fluid and responsive your character, Rick, is to move around. Everything just feels really tight in this one. There's no lag or delay for animation, it's all super responsive. And I should mention that even though this is a Famicom exclusive, almost everything in the game is in English, so you'll have no issue making your way through this one if you can't read Japanese. So, yeah, the first level sets the tone and tempo. You bop along and smash any enemy coming your way until you meet a boss, rinse, repeat. The bosses are great though. The first one is Dracula Michael Jackson dancing to Thriller with his ghoul mates. The game even makes you watch. There's nothing you can do here other than watch this stomping of the graveyard play out. Next, you'll be trapped in a room taken over by the paranormal, and you'll fight off flying chairs and other objects, a sequence familiar to those who enjoyed the original Splatterhouse. Eventually, you'll encounter some platforming sequences, and again, not too shabby. The jumps don't need to be pixel perfect, and Rick's movements feel great. As you wipe enemies off the planet with your hatchet, they'll occasionally drop candy or burgers you can collect for health. You do have a health bar here, and the game is pretty forgiving with damage. There's an incentive here to kill as many monsters and enemies as possible, as a counter in the upper left of the screen will track your kills, and each time you eclipse the number to the right, your energy meter grows by 1 unit. Unlike the original, you won't get to pick up just anything lying around to use as a weapon, like a 2x4 or a pipe. Here you're stuck with your hatchet unless you find a shotgun. It has limited ammo, of course, but it gets the job done, and it's fun while it lasts. The set pieces here are mostly derived from 80s pop horror. The graveyard is a graveyard, of course, but there's a Jaws-esque shark-filled lagoon, your everyday NES sewer, the several haunted areas of a mansion, a creepy cabin in the woods, and more. There's even one weird sequence where you gaze on as a lady dances in front of you, and I think you're dancing along. I think you're just dancing along there. You're being rude about it, but you're just dancing along. I'm joking. She says he's rude because he rips one. Well, he rips a few, but man, what the hell? The game wears its inspirations on its sleeve. Rick himself is almost straight out of Friday the 13th, along with the log cabin stage. There are some nods to Evil Dead, Jaws, as I already mentioned, and to the Alien movie when a monster explodes out of some poor sap's chest. And I'd bet there's tons of less obvious ones if you search hard enough. There's a lot of things to like about this one. Like I said, it feels very good to play and control. The game's theme and graphics are spot on and oozing with kid-friendly horror charm. You get 4 character passwords after each stage so you can pick up right where you left off later. The sound design is remarkable, the music is decent, and graphically it's top tier. It's a shame it never made its way over to North America, but I'm sure Nintendo of America's censorship sensitivities are to blame, which is a total shame, as this game is awesome and would have been a surefire hit. It didn't officially come to North America until 2020, when it was released on Steam. Well, as the story goes, our boy Rick is already dead. His gal Jenny is super sad about this and cries over his grave. Lightning then strikes Rick's grave and resurrects him. I guess he died playing hockey or something. I'm just kidding. That mask is an interdimensional relic that gives Rick his life force. Anyway, a second lightning strike moments later resurrects the Pumpkin King, who promptly kidnaps Ginny right in front of Rick. Why? No one knows, but Rick must set out on this nightmarish quest to save her. Was Ginny really ever in danger? Play to find out. Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti is fantastic, and definitely one worth playing any way you can, as they say. And though you're probably already familiar with the mainline entries from the intro, you can't really go wrong with those. In 2010, Namco attempted to resurrect the franchise with a reboot, but it didn't really take. I haven't played it myself, but you can unlock Splatterhouse 1, 2, and 3 in the game. Unfortunately, there's no sign of Wanpaku Graffiti in there. This cast-aside stepchild of the franchise gets no respect. Well, that's gonna do it for Splatterhouse Wanpaku Graffiti on the Famicom. As always, don't fart on a geisha. And thanks for watching.